sure sound's working. Hopefully the music should be quieter now, and then I'm louder. Y'all feel free to let me know what it sounds like. Spilled my cider right before I got in here, for those of you that are not in the Discord. All good now. Perfect temperature. Okay. This is what we're working on tonight. I got my camera set up in a bit of a different position, so hopefully it makes a little more sense what I'm doing. Fellowship of the Feast. Thank you so much for joining us. I'm assuming is that on Twitch? Because I'm streaming to 2 different places at once. And I think I get notifications for both. I'm seeing now it is on Twitch, yes. Well, thank you so much for that follow. I really appreciate that. Okay. I think everything is in order. Time to paint some minis. Paint some zombies. This this really is not the best monster mashy music. Let me see if I can find something better. I'll bet I can. Let's try spooky fun playlist. Guarantee there's gonna be an ad right at the beginning of this.
When you want junk to disappear.
I knew it. I knew it. All right, almost there. I swear I'm gonna paint at some point tonight. I swear it. That is a promise. Skip ad. But we can't paint without music. Okay. I like it. All right. Oh boy. I'm staying with it. I love it. Also, Britton, I don't know if you were here long enough to still hear what I'm saying, but thank you for your message. I appreciate it. I can't wait to see you tomorrow. Good night, nurse. That's very loud in my ears. I don't know if that's loud on stream. All right. Also trying a new thing tonight with this stream, which zombie is best, so we can duke it out in the comments of which zombie is best. I personally, let me see, I didn't even think of my own answer to this question. I mean, Call of Duty Zombies is pretty good. Not like that they are the best, as in, like, obviously they're bad people. At least in World at War they were. But I think they're some of the most fun to eliminate. I'm loving this music. Okay. Alright, let's paint something. I think what I'm gonna do is finish the beholder. So this is where we're at on this one. Probably needs a little more love on the on its skin tone and everything as it is, but definitely gonna hit that eye with like a spooky kind of color and everything. So I'm gonna get right to it. I'm gonna stop talking about it and I'm gonna just do it. Thank you to any of you who are watching this evening. Again, I am streaming to multiple places. So if anybody is finding me via either of those places, welcome to the Guild of Gluttony stream. Feel free to say what's up. Feel free to answer the question however you see fit. And just have a good time. Okay, so I need to mix a new color for that flesh tone. Just kind of because I ran out. So, I'm gonna move this over just a wee bit. Yeah. Producing a stream and painting is difficult, but we're gonna do it. So going a little bit of bloody red here. I believe I mixed it with some bone white previously, and then I desaturated it a little bit with some stonewall gray. So these are the three colors that combined to make this flesh tone. I just finished The Last of Us, so I'm gonna say clickers. That's a good answer. I have not played The Last of Us. I've watched somebody like run through it. Also, Alex, let me know how like the audio sounds, the mixture of audio. The Halloween music sounds super loud in my ears, but not sure how it sounds on stream. I have not finished, or I have not played Last of Us, but I watched somebody play it on YouTube, and so that's my disclosure. But I would agree, they are one of the top tier zombies that comes to mind. Maybe we could do a tier list if we get enough answers in here. I also need to do a little bit of like a greenish, like rotting tone to the beholder. Also, Alex, did you hear that the new show is going to be set in Kansas City? It's not being filmed here, but I think they're like changing the setting from the original, because I believe it's Pittsburgh in the original, or in the game. They're moving the locale to Kansas City. So I think some of the folks from the show were here filming like B-roll recently. Alright. Gonna mix up some paints. I'm gonna try and make quite a bit of this, because I think I'm gonna have to apply it to... No, I got the zombies done. Their skin tone. But yeah, I guess the rest of it was filmed in Alberta, Canada, I believe. Which is interesting, because I would think, why not just actually film it here? But I don't know. Probably made more sense financially, I would imagine. But kind of cool that at least we're like, because obviously I'm gonna watch the show. So it's gonna be cool to be like, hey, that's right outside my front door. I think this is gonna need to be darker. So I'm throwing in a splash of black. Yeah, usually tax credits. I can see that. I could see it. But it would have just been cool to, you know, see old Pedro Pascal. And I forget who the girl is. Is she like she might be like an unknown actress. Or maybe just unknown to me. I'll roll with this color. It's a little bit different. Pull back here. Than the actual color, but I think it'll dry on a bit darker. And I think I'm going above this anyways with another color. So I'm not super concerned. That it is very different. Confirmed. But I think I'm gonna messy it up later. So Not too concerned with what it looks like at the moment. Do you know if she's been in stuff? I know Pedro Pascal has, that's for sure. But yeah, I gotta think of my own answer to this. Zombieland's good. Hence the title. I was a big Walking Dead fan in college. And then it kind of, I don't know, got less interesting to me. I don't like to say that like shows got worse, because I'm learning quickly that a lot of people don't feel that way about things that I do, and vice versa. So I don't really like to give that as my opinion on things, is that a show got worse. I think it's just that I fell out of love with it. You're a little more comfortable saying it. Bella Ramsey, okay. Gotcha. I did not finish Game of Thrones, so that's probably why I don't recognize her. Was she a pretty prominent character? Yeah, Walking Dead made me sad. Oh, shoot. This, started falling off. Speaking of falling off, this beholder's trying to fall off. I'm also trying to hold it at an angle that at least you can see it on the thing, but The Walking Dead was really good. I think even up to like when they introduced Negan and all of that storyline, I thought it was so good, so interesting. And then I don't know, whenever they got to, what was that little town that they lived in? I forget what it's called. But it just got like just kind of boring. I don't know. To me, again, I'm not going to discredit anybody who feels differently. Later in the season, she was. Oh, okay. Yeah, I only watched through. Dadgummit. Okay, I guess I'm just holding this one then. I am the beholder holder. Yeah, I only watched through about season 4 of Game of Thrones. Again, another similar. I think that's another great example of like people really liked it up till obviously like season 7 and 8, but I just kind of hit a point of like I just don't really want to watch this anymore. It's really not that compelling to me. And I don't know. I wish that I had enjoyed it, but I guess I saved myself the heartache of being invested and then hating it at the very end. See, I hated Game of Thrones before it was cool. To hate it, I mean. I hated it while the show was cool. No, I never hated it. I just wasn't that interested in it anymore. I think I like binged it during some kind of break. Like a holiday break. Because the school that a lot of us went to, if there's anybody here besides Alex, because Alex, you'll know what I'm about to say. Our school required that you worked, well, we all worked on campus. And so the school required that each semester you have to work 2 40-hour work weeks on campus. So there's like no class, or if there was ever a week that you didn't have class, like Christmas vacation, Thanksgiving vacation, anything like that, then they would open that up and say, all right, some of the students have to stay back here and work. Like, you don't get to go home, you don't get to, you know, enjoy your holidays. Instead, you get to stay here and work. And so I was there for one of them, which again, I forget which one it was, but that's when I like binged Game of Thrones. And then I just kind of hit a point of like, it was just like a one-off thing for me. Just like, this doesn't really interest me beyond just that one weekend or 1 week that I was like, all my friends are gone and I just have to, you know, numb my mind for a week. I want to say it was Thanksgiving. But let's see. Plants vs. Zombies, a solid contender. I think we can all agree on that one. I'll be right back. I'm going to turn the fan on because it is hot in here. That's true. It is not a show that you can just leave on in the background. Because especially, like, if you miss one little thing, that could be an entire, you know, I'm not going to say character arc, but, like, there's a lot of exposition that you could miss if you're, you know, preoccupied with something else. That could be vitally important. Which I guess is that way with any show, which is partially why I'm struggling to watch any show right now, is because I'm just like preoccupied doing other things, which is a good problem to have, I guess. Boy, this music is all over the place. Are you watching anything right now, Alex? We just finished Severance, and it is so good. It's like one of the better shows I've seen in a while. It's on Apple TV, where my wife and I are kind of recommending it to anybody that we can. Because when we believe in a show, we like to spread the good news. It's one of the great unifying things about us human beings. Oh, are you? Nice. Nice. Yeah, we watched the first episode, and I think she was like falling asleep or something, so we're like, yeah, we'll just pick it up later. Then we started watching again a few days later, and we were like, all right, yeah, we're hooked. And I think we finished the rest of it within either 1 or 2 sittings. Or, sorry, either 2 or 3 sittings, not 1 or 2. Because there's 9 episodes. Yeah, let me know what you think whenever you finish it. It's definitely a kind of brain bender of a show. I might listen to this like off stream. This slaps. Okay, unfortunately, I did run out of this color. Which is fine. Especially because it's like, I'm going to be doing the underneath stuff, so I can go for like a darker red now to try and simulate those shadows. I still need to... After like the first week of Rings of Power, I haven't watched any of it. Which is sad, because I really liked it. But, like I said, I've just been keeping myself preoccupied. I probably shouldn't be mixing with the same brush that I'm painting with. Oh well. Alright. One of these eye stalks broke off. Let me see if I can show it off here. Right here. You can kind of see that break. Right there. And so I'm trying to make sure not to hold it by that. But at the same time, it is a zombie. Which means that at some point, it was made not alive. I don't know if I can say. I don't know what I can and can't say without getting pinged by the algorithm. But yeah, just it was made a zombie somehow, and I would think that part of the process of defeating a beholder probably has to include chopping off an eye stalk or two. That's what I'd do. Man, there's just all sorts of just tones of red all over this thing. Again, I'm not super concerned about each individual piece, just because it's all living as like a diorama. But the idea is to leave each of the pieces like with their own bases as well, so that you can take them off and actually use them for a game. Ideally. Ooh, some of that sticky tack might be stuck on here. And I might just be painting over it. Oh well, we'll see. Alright, now to go in, make sure I have hit all of the stalks. I feel like every time I look, I see a spot that I've missed. How is this Halloween? This doesn't make sense. This is like Mickey Mouse. There we go. The beauty of painting zombies is that it can be messy. No, not it can be. It should be messy. So it's a great starter project. If you're ever looking to get into miniature painting and you're like, I just don't know if I, have the chops for it, or I don't know the techniques or whatever, zombies are very forgiving. Life lesson for you, zombies are forgiving. Take that to the bank. I think I'm painting too close to the camera now. Ooh, this almost looks like lipstick. this way. Trying to make this somewhat legible. Hey, there's me. There's me. Maybe I'll try it on this side. Also, I got these dice from a Twitch streamer. Go check out the Hero Zone. They are they're a local game shop out of Sandusky, Ohio. And they do a lot of giveaways on their stream. So if you're ever looking for something, just like you said, great background noise. If not something that you're actively engaging in. How's this? Great, now my hand's gonna be right in the way. Let's try this. There we go. Let's try that. I want to know who makes this music. Obviously they know what they're doing, but it's just like royalty-free music. It's just hidden away on YouTube. 13,000 views, so I mean I'd love 13,000 views, but relatively not a ton. I don't know. They're underappreciated. Okay, here's what we're looking at. What am I? Oh, let me check on everything, make sure everything's okay. Hey, it looks like we're up to 4 viewers on Twitch. Not too shabby. Again, thank you all for joining this evening. It's very kind of you. And if you are joining in on the stream, feel free to answer, where are we at here? This question. Which zombie is best? Are you a Shaun of the Dead stan? Maybe a Left 4 Dead fan? Maybe a nice book? I don't know about a ton of zombie books. I feel like zombies have kind of been held to a lot of TV and movies and video games, but I'm sure there are books. I just don't know how to read. That's the problem. Okay. I want to do that eye. Just because that's what I want to do. I want to take a little gander. Let me pull up a little book that I like to call the Monster Manual. That's my name for it. Monster Manual. And then I can switch to this. Nope, not that one. Oh no, we don't need the bomb to drop again. Nope. This one? Sure. We'll call it good. And we'll keep this guy as on the forefront. Let me get this adjusted so we can kind of see what we're working with. Okay. So, we're looking for some zombies. I was looking at this page for the green slad, which is another creature that I'm doing for Monster Mash. This one right here. Hard to tell. I don't want to move the beholder just because I got it situated perfectly. Anyways, I was looking at this for reference for that one. So that's why we're in the slad section. Slad or slod? Or strad? Or strad? Vampires, and then Yetis. After Yetis, Yuan-Ti. And then we got Zombies. Alright. So, this is like a really dark purpley kind of color, which we're kind of getting here. We've got a lot of the reds, but could probably go a little more like bloody and stuff. But then for the eye, I think what I'm going to do is go with like the bone white. And then I'll do probably just like a slightly different shade of bone white to get the pupil in there, like kind of towards the top, as like with the zombie look, and then do kind of an outline of a orange. I don't know why that was hard to figure out those words. He is scary. He's also a little washed out. I'll get Strahd out of here. Also, as thick as a brick. That name sounds familiar, but I can't. I'm not pinpointing who you are at the moment. Reveal yourself. But it is good to see that the cross. What's it called? Oh, thanks, man. The crossover between the two works. As in, like, the chat is working for both YouTube and Twitch. Okay. So, bone white. Let me see. Where are we at here? I need to mark off just like a designated, like, you have to paint right here spot. So yeah, bone white. Actually, maybe. Maybe I do the orange first. Yep. I think that's the move. Do the orange first and then the bone white on top of that. So what is this? Actually, this might be the perfect color. This bronze flesh tone. I don't know if I've ever used this color. Yep, that's gonna be our base color. I believe. Alex, what are you up to this evening? Are you playing WoW? I've painted a few beholders in the last couple years. And I think painting the eye is always the most satisfying part. Okay. So the goal, of course. I'm jealous. I told myself that I was gonna paint, so I'm gonna do that. But maybe I can hurry and get through it. And then, I don't know, switch to something else. We'll see. We'll see. So, yeah, this is for kind of that outer color, and then I'm gonna go for bone white in the middle, and then kind of dot in a little bit of like reds on the outside. So I'm doing it while the bronze is a little bit wet. You should dive into it head first. It's super fun, and I think it elevates any tabletop play, personally. You know, I get really excited about the moment that I like slap stuff down in front of my players. And I've had a few of those moments with our current campaign, and it's a good feeling. It's very fun. Okay, so as you can see, I've kind of lightened it up a little bit with that bone white, but it's still got kind of that that rim of orange on there as well. I got this new webcam software that I'm trying out to help make things not be like super washed out. Did you say you were asking about a printer, correct? Or did you end up getting one? Okay, that webcam thing is not showing up. Basically, the webcam software overrides the autofocus that this webcam uses, which is incredibly annoying. Okay, it's not working, but I'm just gonna go for it. So I'm gonna add just a slightly different shade of that bone white to add as the pupil. Yeah, especially if you're doing D&D stuff, resin printing is the way to go, I believe. Sorry. I'm just trying to make sure I get the right color here. And then I'll finish my thought. Resin printing is definitely the way to go. I think for like other printers, I think they're great for like terrain pieces and stuff. So again, here's the general idea of that pupil. I think they're great for terrain pieces, and I would really consider getting one eventually for that. However, if you're just starting out, then resin's the way to go, because you can do like smaller terrain pieces, and you can do, I would argue that minis are more important starting out than like good terrain. Because you can do minis on those other printers, but they're not as good. You don't get like as good of detail. And so I don't think that's the way to go, personally. I need to get some new brushes. So I'm just gonna go in now and dab some reds on that kind of inner layer. So we're getting there. It's looking like a Zambi. I'll end up adding a highlight, and I will do like a dark wash on the inside to kind of like fill in some of those gaps and just make it look a lot more recessed. And honestly, that pupil might even be like too defined, especially seeing it on camera. So what I might actually do is just paint over it a bit to make it seem a little more faded in there. So I think that kind of actually worked a lot, because it's not supposed to be real prominent. It's supposed to just kind of seem like it's, I don't even know what the word is. It's supposed to look like that-ish, sort of. Do you buy paints in sets or individually based on the project you're working on? I have only ever gotten one set of paints. It's these game color paints. I'm putting these back up. One to keep my desk clean, but also just to show off, just in general, what I'm working with. So. Goodness gracious. It's these back here. My camera's all off, but it's all these back here. There's probably about 8, 10, 12, 14. I was gonna guess and say 16. So there is 16. Should have gone with my gut. And I got that set for Christmas about a year ago, because I really got into painting about a year ago, and I haven't really had to use or like buy anymore, just because you can mix your colors, you know, as long as you have red, blue, yellow, black, white, you can get any color from that. It's just sometimes a pain in the butt. And then just like having the colors makes it a lot simpler and faster to work with. It also makes it to where you can replicate your colors easier. But that's also just kind of the beauty of a wet palette, is that you can preserve your colors with it. So like if you end up taking a break and then you want to pick it back up tomorrow, then you don't have to worry about remixing the color as long as you have a wet palette. In theory. I think I might have gone a little too hard covering up that pupil now. Yeah, I think I lost it a little bit. It's still kind of there, but it's a little too subtle now. coming back a little bit. But yeah, I am starting to kind of get to the point to where I would like to buy some new paints. Again, exactly for that reason of just like, it's just more convenient. Start hitting the teeth. Because I think sometimes I look at a project and I get detracted from starting it because I think it's too daunting. And then I just to set it up and just to get the colors and whatnot. And then sometimes I just don't start. Or I'll start and I don't finish it. Hitting the teeth here. And then I think, of course, the beauty of a hobby like this is that you can go either route. You can go like super store-bought and get good quality products that are just more convenient, or for almost everything there's pretty much a like DIY solution that somebody has come up with. Again, it might not be perfect and it might be more difficult to work with, but oftentimes it's at least a good start. I definitely subscribe to the old adage is that like what is it that a poor craftsman blames the tools. And so I think starting out in hobby, especially one that can like the money can add up so quickly, I think it's best to just like dip your toe in, get 3 or 4 smaller paints, or sorry, 3 or 4 colors of paints, and then just buy like 1 miniature from your local game shop or something like that. Or shoot, I mean, I'll hook you up with one since you're local, and then just like give it a shot, like paint it and see if you enjoy that. And if you get hooked, then buy a printer. Let's see, it looks like these smaller eyeballs are going to be the same story. Because there have been so many hobbies that I've started that I'm like, I haven't even tried it yet, but I know I'm going to love it. And I know I should just dive headfirst into it. And then a month later, whatever I bought for it is just like collecting dust. That's a very real thing that you just eventually have to just say, like, I think the thing that helped me with 3D printing and not like counting things as like super precious. Yeah, that's a good call. The thing about like letting go on 3D printed stuff is that like if you mess it up, you just print it again. And you're out, you know, depending on the size of the thing, like a print like this probably cost me less than a quarter in supplies. Like in resin, I'd say roughly a quarter. So if I mess this up, the file is still on my flash drive. The resin's still in my printer. I just go in, I press start, and I give it another shot. I've had to do that with a few models before. Because, yeah, sometimes you just totally whiff. And that's part of it. But that's the beauty of having a printer, and that was one of the biggest appeals to me. Was that it helps me to, yeah, like not hold things as so precious. Now what does happen then is that you'll get 3/4 of the way into something It's like, man, I'm killing this. Like, I'm doing such a good job. And then your hand slips. Or you're like, oh, I want to add a new color. And you're like, oh no, I ruined it. Like, so then you're like, okay, well, like, you know, I can fix it. Let me just paint over it. And sometimes it's not. Sometimes it's easier said than done. But again, it's all just part of the process, and like learning all that's super fun. And like I said, I think one of the biggest like driving factors for me was knowing that like, man, my players are gonna love this. And so far they have. All the stuff that I have gotten to show them. That's not why I originally got the printer. I just got it because I was like, I just need something to do during quarantine. And then I was like, oh, I want to paint this stuff now. Okay. A little more insight, a little more talking about the painting. I hit the brown on the teeth. I'm gonna hit it again with the same orange that I'm using for the base color of the eyes, just to give it a little bit of life, a little bit of color, bringing a little bit of life to this zombie. But it's also fun, like, it's, you know, I'm a graphic designer. I have been doing illustration and stuff for a long time. And I was just always like, I just don't think I like painting. It's too messy, and it is. So I just like, I don't know if I'll like it. And so that just kind of kept me away from it, because I was like, I just don't think I'm going to enjoy it. And then I started doing it out of necessity, and then ended up just falling in love with it. So his teeth kind of pop a little bit more now. Let's see here. Oh, I gotta finish hitting those eyes, the smaller eyes. Did you say you are DMing? Or are you just a player right now? I thought I remembered you saying that you are either in a campaign or about to start a campaign. Or am I mistaken? Just playing, okay. Well, then you can also be like that really cool player that your DM will fall in love with whenever you say, hey, can I print our player or our characters or whatever? That is a tough spot as a DM to ask for that, I'm sure. Just be like, hey, can you print off, you know, can you print off an aboleth? No reason. Don't worry about it. Can you print off like 18 mind flayers and don't ask questions? Alright, he has eyes. Getting there. Right. Oh no, it's just for decoration. You know, just helping a brother out. Man, my wet palette is not actually working very well. All of the colors that I was using earlier are dry already. A little bit of dead white here. Again, just perfect for a zombie horde. Thank you. Teeth are always fun. Because it's just kind of like, you can just kind of brush your, or slide your brush over it and it's just done. Usually. I have painted some models that is not the case. Alright, so I'm mixing a little bit of that bone white with the dead white in order to get the highlight on the eye. Alright. Got the eye highlight now. It looks alright. I'm not in love with it. But, again, like, this is what we're working with here. Or what we're shooting for. Something like that. So I'll end up going in with a super dark, like, black wash that'll really kind of pool in around there. I'll apply it pretty heavily there to add a lot of contrast around that spot. So I think that highlight will pop even more at that point. We'll see. We'll see. This could go completely wrong. Don't think I'm really gonna focus very much on the back, to be honest. Just because, like, when this thing is on the diorama, it's gonna be right there. So it doesn't really need to, like, I don't really need to flesh out the back very much. So I might just hit the inside of the mouth. Actually, I might just leave the mouth as is, because it's just black right now. But I'm liking how that's looking in the context. Okay. This is going a lot of different directions tonight. I'm loving it. Little spooky arcade. This is dope. Whoops, am I still live on YouTube? I might not be. Nope, looks like it's good. Cool. Alrighty. Okay, for the eyes, the smaller eyes, I'm gonna do just a similar thing of just like a dab of that bone white on each of them. And I'm not even gonna do a pupil on these. music's stressing me out. It's too epic for having to do the little tiny fine details. Okay. So those are getting there. I feel like again, I could spend an eternity just getting every little detail on this thing perfect. But I don't think I want to do that. I think I just need to get it done, because there's a whole lot more to get to. So I'm going to call that good for that for now. And then I'm going to go in and do all of the... So I'll do a dark wash, like a black wash on everything later on. But I'm really happy with how that's looking right now. Especially like with the having that pupil in there, kind of looking up, looks great. So that means it's time to move on to Big Boy, I believe. See, this is a lot more chill. And his skin is quite gray. So I'm gonna do like a heavy gray with like a little teeny tiny bit of green mixed in. And I'm gonna start switching to a different brush. I think so. I hope so. I also might do maybe like a red wash on that one, like a dark crimson wash, just to make it a little less purpley, and then go over that with like a black wash. I don't know. Now I'm just being crazy. Somebody stop me. Okay. I'll just go into this green corner. Again, I'll give you a little bit of reference of what I am looking at here. So looking at this ogre zombie. So it's mostly like a gray with like little, just teeny tiny hints of green. Not a ton at all, so it's super subtle. Which I don't mind to exaggerate that, just because I think it will be a cool look, but I'm not trying to make it green. I'm not trying to make you look at it and be like, his skin is green.
Purina One has the inside story on your pet's health. It starts inside the gut.
Just so you know, it starts inside the gut.
Balance, promoting gut health and immune support. Learn more at purina1.com/gut.
There you go. Learn more. Oh, that was it. Video pause. Continue watching. Oh my gosh. All the dadgum commercials. Little teeny bit. I gotta make sure that I mix enough for this guy too. There we go. Whoops. Didn't realize I put his booty right in front of the camera. How about his face? But yeah, I gotta make sure that I mix enough paint to cover his whole body. That's right. That's the kind of content you came here for, right? A little bit of orc booty. And I feel like that gray is pretty spot on. So I'm just gonna add a little bit more. I say spot on. Spot on for what is in the monster manual. So yeah, this is the color I'm going for. Which that even looks a little more green than I was intending for it to. But just looking at it right here doesn't look that green. So, whatever. Let me water it down just a teeny tiny bit to get it to flow. And then we'll just go for it. Also, there definitely used to be a sword sticking out of his gut. Not sure where that went. It probably went to where the spear almost went. Because the spear broke off. This spear right here broke off. So that's just a little bit of super glue holding that on right now. Seems to be watered down a little bit more. It's going on pretty thick. So yeah, that who knows where that sword is? Might be on the ground somewhere for us to step on. Alright, there's most of the base color for now. I'm gonna keep going, but just giving a little bit of progress. I like big things like this, that it feels like you can make a lot of progress quickly, just because you're covering a lot of surface area. Yeah, this definitely turned out greener than I was expecting. Not mad about it. I can go back with some, like a highlight. The highlights can kind of just cover up that color too. Not mad about it. Let me angle this up actually, because I think it's just pointed down now. Ah. Barefoot in the monster manual, but he does have shoes on here, so I get to make a decision. I'll probably do like a real desaturated brown for the shoes, and then for the loincloth it looks like it's some sort of animal pelt kind of thing, so like a brownish reddish kind of thing. I may even start with just like a base coat that's the same color as the beholder's flesh. I don't know if I'm feeling froggy. We'll see, we'll see. I don't know if it's just the gray or the green or what, but this is drying really quick. It seems like. There's a lot of color theory transfer over from graphic design, or is it pretty different with wet paint? It does transfer over quite a bit. I think it's a little less the color theory that's as important as much as it is the like lighting theory. And a lot of that does translate. Just like how does light behave on certain surfaces? What texture, what do textures just generally like? How do I recreate that in paint? So I think there are a lot of skills. Definitely, some color theory definitely does translate, and I think especially like whenever you do it for so long, you don't even recognize that it's like, oh, this is a skill that I've picked up, or this is like knowledge that, you know, is translating. It's just kind of like, it's just something that I know. So that being said, I have to like kind of slow down and think about it. Really liking this color. But I think definitely like whenever it comes to color schemes, I should do a lot more planning, like pre-planning of my models and my color schemes, but I kind of don't. Reason being, especially like, I mean, you're watching me do it now. It's like my color scheme is coming from right there. So it's a lot less of me having to figure out like, okay, what do I want this color scheme to be? And it's more like, how do I just make sure that I don't go too far away from this? And that's kind of a personal preference of just sticking to like source material. But I think a lot of my color choices are also made for me, having like a limited set of paints. Okay, I think I changed my mind. I don't think I want to do that same color of flesh. I think I'm gonna do for the I need to finish saying all my thoughts. I am not going to take the beholder flesh color and use it for the loincloth. I'm going to do a brown mixed with red. Leather brown, bloody red. Mixing those two together. Leaning a little heavier on the brown. Just to get that clothing. Yeah, I need to re-soak my wet palette. Everything's drying out pretty quick. Which, it's fine. I'm trying to finish this tonight. At least the two big things. The two little guys, that's fine. I can finish those whenever. And the guy in the back is already done. It's nice to be able to use a bigger brush too on this guy. Immediately just got a dab on his leg. Yeah, I'm a good painter. Thankfully, I do have a bunch of that skin tone left over. I made a lot more than I was expecting, or a lot more than I was anticipating on needing. Yeah, this is way, way, way more red than I was wanting it to be. But I'm okay with that, just to get the base coat. Goodness gracious, seeing that on camera. It's not as red in real life as it looks on camera, I'll tell you that much. That just looks straight red. No, there's definitely some brown in there. I swear. That's way too vibrant of a color for a zombie. Way too much of a sign of life. That's fine. I'm not gonna clean my brush off yet just because I need this all to be pretty uniform. So whatever I'm doing to the loincloth, I'm doing to the arms. At this point, I don't even care if I'm getting some on the skin just because I'll have to go back and touch some of it up anyways. So whatever, we're just going for it. Probably could fit this one on the handle. Actually, maybe not. He's a pretty big boy. He's a pretty big boy. He's a big boy who is pretty. And we love that about him. I can't believe how red that turned out to be. I really didn't mix that much red in, but I guess it's just pretty strong. So, as it sits, definitely would stand out a bit on the diorama. Oops. So I'm gonna go over it with my darker brown, I think. So it'll still kind of have the red color in there, but I'll just do like a thin go with the brown. Already that's making a huge difference. And again, black wash will tie it all together. So anything that looks a little odd right now is, I'm not too worried about it. If I had more time, or if I wanted to take more time, maybe that's a better way to say it, then I would add in more like weathering effects and like dirt and stuff all over the place, which again, maybe I will later. But for right now, we're just trying to get it done. So again, on each one of these, I'm not a super fast painter, but I could get something like this done like to a higher standard that I really enjoy in probably like 5 or 6 hours. And again, that's just because I like doing it. I will take, I'm gonna make this like a dark brown. So I'm gonna take some, this black is like completely dried almost. And then it looks like the head of this mace is pretty gray. All right. So this is what we're looking at right now. Again, probably a bit too saturated at the moment. So I'll probably end up going over a lot of this with just like a straight gray. I'm gonna do that now actually, because I think I'm gonna end up using quite a bit of the gray for this part up here as well. Thank you. Yeah, whatever I was doing, whatever that like light red brown was, wasn't it? Whatever it was, it wasn't it. So I'm gonna just taking a straight gray right now, and I'm just gonna hit kind of the higher parts to try and desaturate it quite a bit. I just feel like I added way too much green. It needs to look like all of the life has left his body. And then I gotta start hitting that like sinew on the arms and the backs. So So I'll go in with a dark red now. I guess. Maybe like a little brown in there. Start putting that on these parts. Which again, you can be real messy here, and that's not a problem, because if anything spills over, then it just looks like it's part of the wound, like spilling out. So that's why I'm not really switching to a smaller brush. That looks gnarly. I love that. Real happy with that. I think just that contrast on the grayish green is a real good look. Still doesn't quite look like undead, but it's closer. Man, this bigger brush has a better fine tip than my smaller brushes. Just because I haven't used this brush very much at all. I need new brushes. On the back. Here's the front. Can't really tell what's going on with the eyes here. I just dipped my finger in that? I might have. Alright, let me see if there are any wounds that I'm missing on this thing. On the leg, looks like. Adding little, what looks like droplets. It's pretty subtle. You can see it underneath, like right here, where it looks like it's kind of dried on where it dripped down. So it looks like it kind of dripped down, and then as he laid there, it kind of would have dried on. So I made it a little more obvious on the back, just to show what I was talking about. and see if I can get the gums with this color. Not so much, but it just looks like lipstick. Whoops. Teeth. Doesn't really look very undead, if I'm honest. The gray needs a thin layer of green on top. That's possible, but I think I'm just not liking the green being as prominent. So I feel like adding a layer of green is gonna make it like more poppy, unless I just lean in fully to the green. I don't know. Bright gray makes it too alive. That would make sense. So going green on top will... I mean, maybe I just do a dark gray then. Or maybe I just wait for the wash. I agree with you that the bright gray is part of the problem. Some maces are hard to paint. They're just like beholders, or they've just got stuff shooting out everywhere. And just when you think you've got it all, you look at it from another angle and see there's 4 spikes that you missed. Thank you, Cheese Toad. First of all, absolutely love that name. I think you would fit in very well here in the Guild of Gluttony with a name like Cheese Toad. And yeah, I kind of finished. I got to this point with it. So essentially, like, I think what's going to breathe undeath into all of these creatures and just like the diorama as a whole is going to be a black wash. I think, especially with like the tombstones, it's going to really like sink into those and like really create quite a contrast. Thank you. I was pretty proud of the eye. And so I think with this one, and especially around the eye, having like a dark wash is really going to sink in there and show a lot more of like the wrinkled skin texture and just really like bring a real new like grim feeling to everything. So we'll see. Right now the struggle is just to we're trying to figure out how to make this orc look more undead. I'm sorry, ogre look more undead, because it's just looking a little more right now than dead. So we'll figure it out. But thanks for popping into the stream, and thanks for chatting. How'd you end up finding us this evening? Us fine folks here at the Guild of Gluttony. Yeah, maces might be pretty far down on my list of weapons to purple tent. I could definitely see that, especially with the picture from the monster manual. Especially with like, where's my cursor at? Like up here, there's definitely some purples. There's definitely purple showing through here. The blood is probably a little more purple, so that maybe that's a good way to go. Maybe I could do like a purple wash before I do the black wash. Search miniature painting. Nice. Well, I'm glad I showed up. I don't even remember what I put in for the settings. Yeah. Or for the keywords, I guess. They usually have rot without some form of deep red. You do have a very good point. Okay, I'm just gonna do it. I'm gonna do a like purplish, like reddish wash. I'm gonna go over that with it. So I gotta get my handy dandy, just like scrap thing. Just recently got into the hobby. Yeah, we were talking earlier. I've been painting for maybe about a year. Do you play D&D at all? So if I'm doing purple, I need quite a bit of red. Or for this purple, I'm gonna do quite a bit of red with just a touch of blue. Also a recent adventure. Playing D&D, you mean? It's it'll take over your life if you're not careful, but in like an awesome way. Have you painted a lot of stuff yet? Been involved in only 3 campaigns and none of them have gone very far yet. 3 campaigns though. That's impressive. Okay. We're getting a purple. Looks like it's gonna be pretty flowy. Are you a player or a DM or a bit of both? Nearly finished with your second mini. Awesome. What are you painting? Let me give a little glimpse in here. This is the purple we're working with in this sewer canal. And Alex, this is exactly what I was talking about earlier. This could be a moment where you completely ruin everything, or you love it. We shall see. Never been a DM. Good for you. No, I love DMing. Full send, that's right, baby. And you know what? Maybe I'll just... I don't hate this. Like I said, it really is... It's got that kind of nasty death kind of look to it. A bugbear fighter. That's dope. And then your first mini was an ogre. Was it alive? Alright, just going all over his face here. It's very purple, but I think I can just go over the top of it with just some gray. Have more of a hill type ogre. This could be a hill ogre, or could have been. I don't know. If you're ever interested in sharing your creations with anybody in the hobby, we do have a Discord where we kind of show off our creations and inspire one another. So if you're interested in that, I can share the info with you, because I would love to see your ogre and bugbear fighter. We got a few D&D nerds there, and that our fellow D&D nerds in there. All right, so it's getting there. It's definitely closer, but I'm gonna have to give it some love. It's just kind of looking like Drax right now, I feel like. Got some really nice minis I want to hand out for Christmas this year with a sweet D20 to match class. That's dope. You're the kind of player that I would love to have at my table. That's a very sweet gesture too, to like really be that invested in the game, to give that out. Okay, yeah, definitely looks more undead. Yeah, let me get you, I will post, or I'll paste that link to the Discord. I know on my YouTube, I think there is a command that will send that out, but I can just copy and paste the link right now. And then, yeah, you can, like I said, there's a good bit of us in there that loves to share our creations with each other. But I will post this in the chat. I believe you are on Twitch. Yes. So what kind of characters have you been playing so far within those campaigns? All right, there's the Discord right there. And then, yeah, Alex, I think you're right. I'm going to go with a darker gray mixed in for the rest of this. A Herringon smuggler type. Nice. My current bard is... So he's not a Herringon, but when they were doing the Unearthed Arcana, before they put out Wild Beyond the Witchlight, they had the rabbit folk. And that was when we started our campaign. So I'm playing as a rabbit folk right now. Kip Thicket has an Irish accent. Awesome. Is that your native accent? Or is it something that you put on for the character? Also, are you good at it? Would you consider yourself good at it? I've tried doing an Irish accent. Herring God Blade. Heron. Wow, what a mouthful. Heron gone blade singing wizard. Try saying that 5 times fast. Trey is playing a blade singer right now in our Rime of the Frost Maiden campaign. It's pretty fun. Doggone it.
You gotta execute the play with precision if you want to get the job done.
You can be confident with your placement and lock out speedos with stain master.
What are these?
Let's tackle home together.
I'm pretty poor at it on the spot, but if I get time to think what I want to say, I can do decent. That's nice. Does that happen often? Do you usually get time to think about it, or is it usually just like me, it's usually a very like weird jumbled up mixture of the accent, especially with Irish. But I always go into it so confident and walk away from it so sad. Yeah, it is a very fun class. I don't know what all changes they made between the Unearthed Arcana and the actual content. But I would be interested to kind of look up the differences. Oh no, this spear is just hanging by a thread. If I can stick to W's and R's, I'd do okay. I'm trying to think through what that would sound like. Man, I can't even think right now. This is the kind of panic that sets in those moments. I just now covered that spot that I immediately painted on earlier. Dude, if I think about it too much, it turns to Australia. Yes! Why is that? Why does that happen? Why is it Australian? Is it because Australian's like easier? I don't know. I don't know. It's weird to say it's easier, but maybe it is. Maybe it's closer to like. Well, I don't know where you're from. I'm in the U.S., so that's kind of like the maybe just the way my brain is wired. Mate, me name keep the cat. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. This is looking a lot closer to what I was wanting it to. You're in the US as well, nice. Oi, mate. Me name keep the cat. Oh, that's good. Keep. I don't know why that's making me laugh. What? You don't love the US? This place is perfect. What are you talking about? I'm glad you're liking it. Thanks for the suggestion, both of you. Alex, I don't know if you're still there, but the two of you are bringing new life to this. So it's got the general gray look to it. I need to hit that elbow. So are you guys like running a module, or is it all homebrew for your 3 campaigns? That's wild. Yeah, we're getting there. We're getting there. Oh, his ear is broken. I don't know if that's easy to see. Kind of the discrepancy between the 2 ears. This one's shorter. The tip of it broke off. I don't know if I did that or... I don't know. I have been a part of 3 campaigns, have not played much at all. I think we have in most things our allowed game going. Nice. Yes, it does make him look slimy. I think he's a zombie. Yes. Thankfully, anything that I have broken off on it is just for flavor. Totally done intentionally. Alright, so I'm going in with a lighter gray now to kind of bring back those highlights. Yeah, as I mentioned earlier, I'm running Rime of the Frost Maiden for a few friends, and it's fun. It's a really good module. In my opinion. Some people have had their qualms with it, but I think a lot of the complaints that I've read are pretty silly. Cheese Toad, would you like to weigh in on the question? Where are we at? Right here. Which zombie is best? Whenever it comes to just like pop culture in general, do you feel like there's a TV show, a movie, a video game that depicts them the best and in the most entertaining way? We've had a few different things thrown out, but I want to see what you have to say before I mention the rest. It is wide. I cast a wide net just hoping that I can keep asking the question over and over and it doesn't get stale. That's the secret to being a streamer, is have other people come up with the things to talk about. I don't know if you can say there is one that could be the best, when in reality we have no clue. So it's just whoever has the same relatable ideas you do. That's fair. Now I could maybe pick which I think are the coolest. Yeah, I think that's generally the spirit of the question. What is your opinion? Perhaps I should have made that a bit more clear. He's a lot closer, folks. Yeah, feel free, take your time. I got all night. Just kidding, I'm not gonna work on this all night, but we're getting there. Let's see what it'll look like in context. I like it. I still think the red might be a little too, might pop a little bit too much right here. So I'll probably go in and darken that up a bit. And then start doing a wash on things. It's 10 o'clock. And I've been going for 2 hours. I'm just trying to think, do I want to keep doing this? Decisions. Because I need to. I can show you the other things I have lined up. Since you are new here to the channel, Cheese Toad, I'll tell you I've created this prompt list. Half unicorn. Hello. Apparently you have a Twitch too. I thought you said, oh, you weren't watching on YouTube. You decided to watch here. I see. Thank you for the follow. What I'm saying, Cheese Toad, I created this prompt list of like, just basically a bunch of different, like phrases, or not phrases. Let me just pull it up. This will probably be the easiest way to explain what I'm trying to get across. Monster Mash. Twitch chat is faster. That's true. It's just all around better. So I'll just pull this over here and switch to this. So I have created this list for what I call Monster Mash. I don't know if that's shown up. You're not on mobile like I am now. That is true. Well, figure you're not on mobile. Am I reading that wrong? What was I saying? I'm confused. My brain. This is the prompt list that I have created for Monster Mash. Okay. Gotcha. That makes sense. So far, I have done the Headless Horseman. Where are we at here? I've painted a Headless Horseman. I've still got a little bit more I need to go back and do on that one, but hey, it's done-ish. I have done Strahd, which I finished him today, actually. Trying to get the lighting to where it looks better. This is Strahd von Zarovich, Vampire Prince. He is done. I am currently working on the Horde, which is the third one here. All these lovely little friends who we've made progress on this evening. And then I have printed out an aberration, which is a green slad. And as you can see, all of that is listed under October 1st through 8th. I'm killing the game and have not made it through the first week, even though it is October 11th. So, you know, maybe bit off a little bit more than I can chew, which is fine. It is fine. I'm enjoying the process nonetheless, but I'm trying to be a little bit more diligent on actually like doing the thing. And so looking ahead, I don't know if I've shown very many of these at all so far. The next thing we have Mummy it's either Asmodeus or Asmodeus. I've heard more people say it as Asmodeus, so I'm going to go with that. The first one is... Actually, it looks like my mic might be a little bit too hot here. Y'all let me know if anything sounds weird. The first prompt is Mummy. So I got this little guy. I still need a base for him, but I'm hoping that will be a quick paint job. I'll skip the second one for now. And then the third one, which is the inspiration of death. You know what? Let me just switch back. So just remember Asmodeus and death. This is the one that I've... Okay, good. Thank you for letting me know. This is the inspiration for death. It is a Death Knight, which I will pull up on the monster manual, just to give a general idea of what that is. That's a cockatrice. But this is a Death Knight. Sorry for any spoilers. This may be on anybody's campaign, but this is information that is just out there for any player, just so you know. So Death Knight, pretty bad thing. Challenge rating of 17, so pretty difficult. So yeah, they're just knights that are undead, that have a lot of hit points and have a high AC and can do a lot of crazy things. So that is why I went that direction with death. Was choosing a Death Knight, but the little spin, and it's really hard to see with that base, or with the base coat, because it's all black. But this is Darth Vader. So this is what Darth Vader would look like as a Death Knight, and it'll make more sense once I actually like paint it up and get that zenithal highlight and everything. But you can kind of see with like the shape of his helmet and stuff. This is Darth Vader, which works for two things for death. It is a Death Knight, and it's also the Death Star. So, got you twice. I hope it does. I hope it looks good. I think that's going to be a lesson for me in how to use black effectively. Because essentially, I mean, I could just be like, hey, it's Darth Vader. I'm done. But that's not going to be very compelling. So I think it's going to be hard. Especially because it's a small model that I'm going to have to really make look cool. Using just black. However, the thought actually just came to mind is he's got his like flaming sword, aka a lightsaber. And it'd be really cool to do is I could obviously paint that red, and then I could go in with my airbrush and just like paint like an artificial red light that would light up like this entire right side of the mini. I've seen people do it before, especially with like Star Wars minis. And now that I'm thinking about that, I think that's exactly what I'm gonna do. Again, just to kind of break up, so it's not just like all black. Anyways, that is the Death Knight. And now there was a reason why I was stalling to show Asmodeus, and it's because he's huge. I posted a picture of this on my Discord earlier. Yeah, like a red glow. Yeah, I've seen people do it before. I gotta be very careful with this so I don't break it. So this is Asmodeus, one of the gods of the 9 hells. So pretty tall. Let me just put my head next to this for scale. You can see it on both the bigger screen and like it's as tall as my head. So it's pretty big. I'll just pull it back so you can see the whole thing. So this is one of the next undertakings. Again, I think I might have bit off a little bit more than I can chew with this challenge. He said to Wumbo. Yeah, it's true. Just gonna put a W right here on his belt. Actually, I guess like, well, here, I'll take him off the throne to kind of show him a little bit. Oh no, he's losing his hammer a bit. I need to reattach that. The crown. Good gracious. Crown kind of looks like a W. Looks ready to TPK a party. True words have never been spoken. That's okay, man. I knew what you were saying. Yeah. So that's looks like he's ready to TPK a party. Which I don't even know. I don't know if there's a stat block for him. Let's check. Let's see if, again, I'm pretty sure it's pronounced Asmodeus. If there is we'll just call him Asmo. If there's a stat block for him. In Mordenkainen's Tome of Foes, he's in Lord of the Nines. Did I say Lord of the Nines? Lords of the Nine. Yes, I did. And he did such a great job. Also, I'm just like a little salty that Brendan Lee Mulligan is like a celebrity within the D&D sphere because there's only room for one of us. Let's see, in the Sword Coast, the Cloven Old Hoof and Horn. Arl. Familiar name to those who have played Rime and the Frost Maiden. Yeah, it was so good. He, like, I've always loved Matt. Like, definitely always loved Matt's DM style. And it's very much, like, entertaining to watch. And I know a lot of people are like, oh, I want to be him. I want to, you know, like emulate his style, which is all great. But I've never really had that feeling of like, I need to do everything exactly the way that Matt Mercer does it. You know, people always talk about the Mercer effect, which they say whether it's a myth or not, I don't know. I don't need to weigh in on that. But watching Calamity was like, I kind of do want to emulate this. Like, there was a lot that I really loved about the way that he told those stories. I think particularly the thing that he does well is that he does very character-centric and character-driven story, and gave each person like such I guess agency within a story that he wrote. And a story, I mean, I'm sure a lot of people had a hand in it, but he just really was just like, hey, this is kind of happening, like this is what's going to happen, but I want you, like, here's the brush, paint me this picture in the way that you want to, keeping the story on track but also letting the players have their own way. Yes, it's just, it was like truly some of the best DMing I've ever seen. And I've watched Dimension 20. Like, I think he does a really good job on that, but it's also goofy, you know, like at times. I mean, there are times where it got really serious, but I think, you know, it's college humor. Like, I think it's very much a kind of silly thing. And so I think that was the opportunity for him to step in and be like, no, look, like this is what I can do. And I feel like he did such a good job with it. Again, like very character centric, and just like his improv is crazy. His brain's great. Again, so is Matt Mercer. Like, you can, it's impossible to not like Matt Mercer. And you know, I think it's great to well, it happened. Look at this. It's you know, it's interactive. Okay, I've not listened to all of Escape from Bloodcube. I listened to part of it. Yeah, thank you. I am fond of this mini as well. This is from Archvillain Games. They make a ton of miniatures monthly, which again, like, can you even call this? Yeah, fair. Ow, my heart. Can you even call it a mini? I don't know, but Archvillain, they make a ton of games, or a ton of miniatures that you can use in your games. They also create modules to go along with the miniatures that they put out each month. They put out the 3D files, I'm sorry, for 3D printing. Thank you. Gosh, my feelings were so just crushed in that moment. No, it's my own fault. I mean, you can even see it. I used hot glue on it. Although, I mean, what's staying is staying pretty good. I might just keep it there, so that when I put it on the tables, I can actually have like a judgment moment of. Well, let me see. I don't want to use any of those minis. Where are my miniatures? Here we go. I've reached 100 messages today with Restream chat. Look at me. Get a couple pics in the Discord to share. Yes, please do. Is he to scale? I don't know. What a good question. I would think maybe, because he's huge. This is another miniature that I've already used. I used this for our Rime of the Frost Maiden. And so I envision that she's like a halfling. Sorry, my chat's covering it up. gracious. Why is this so difficult? So maybe, I feel like honestly, it would be smaller. Like I feel like he would be bigger. If this is like a halfling or like a normal humanoid. Let me see. I'm digging through. Also my, you know, super great miniature holding case. Just an old Amazon box. We moved about 2 months ago. And so this stuff has never made its way back into like a good place after being in a moving box. Let's see. Here is just a normal, just like guard. So maybe this halfling is a little big, actually, or what would be a halfling. So normal human size, and then this would be him. So maybe it would be considered to scale. So here's the one beholder. This is the one I painted recently. This is the very first beholder I painted. And then we have our zombie friend. You know, just a whole family of beholders. I love me some good beholders. Just a nice family picture here. They're just friends. I love that green one, but I really like the eye on the zombie. Well done. Thank you so much. This one, I used the airbrush on it. But yeah, I'm actually really happy with the eye on this one. I'm really happy with how it's turning out. I feel like even in the monster manual, that picture. Also, I never finished looking. I don't think there is a stat block for Asmodeus. Maybe here. In the Explorer's Guide to Wildmount, they do talk about him, so maybe that's how where the tie-in is with EXU and all that. No spoilies. What was I saying? Oh yeah, the monster manual depiction of that zombie. Pull my arm back so I don't break anything. Even that picture, whoops, it's super subtle. Like you almost can't even see that it's there, and then it just kind of fades into this. So I really just like wanted to make sure that I was keeping it subtle. So yeah, I'm happy with it. And then, like I said, I'll go in with the wash on everything and try and get it all unified. But I don't think I'm going to do any more tonight. I think, first of all, my paints are probably dried out because I've just been sitting here gabbing for a little while. We could talk suggestions. It just has that undead glazed look. That's the goal. That is the goal. Which, again, like, sometimes I can set out to work on something with like really intent on doing, you know, like the eye. I really want to make sure that I get that right. And that can be really intimidating. And that can sometimes keep me from actually like doing it. So I'm glad that it actually did work out and that I gave it a shot. Gave it the old college try. So let's take a gander. Let's take a Britain gander at the prompt list for Monster Mash one more time. And we should discuss. Or I can take votes. Not necessarily votes, but let me point this at my ugly mug now. No, I'll just point it at this. That's what we can look at while we're taking a look at the prompt list for Monster Mash. Trying to kind of get a good idea of what I should do. Because I think I created the prompt list, but I think I said whenever I put it out, feel free to do as much or as little as you want. But I also said I'm going to do all 4 per week. But I just don't think that's true. Like, I don't think that it's realistic for me to try and do all 4 per week. Did I say 3? I meant 4. So all this is done. I think for now I'm going to forget about Aberration. Even though I have it printed out, I definitely will do it at some point just because I love the look of the green slide that I printed. However, I just don't think it's in the cards to knock it out, especially because it's October 11th and this says October 1st through 8th. So I need to move on. Asmodeus is going to take a very long time. I think the Mummy and Death will go pretty quickly, but I also don't want to just like throw away this 4th column every week. Yeah. I'm not super stoked about the Mummy, if I'm honest. So I'd be fine with nixing that. I don't know. You guys let me know what you think of, like, if you think something would be cooler than something else. If you have any ideas on any fiends that you think would be cool to paint, then I can look for some. But just looking ahead as well, looking at weeks 3 and 4, if you have any ideas for those, I am all ears. I think I definitely will do Goblin. I might just skip Demogorgon. I had a model also from Archvillain that I really wanted to do. Let me see if I can find it. I get a good portion of my stuff from My Mini Factory. I hope there's no info here. Demogorgon? Is this how it's spelled? Okay. So this is, again, I use the term miniature lightly, but this is the mini that I was wanting to paint. This is a really popular painter that did this. His name is Angel Giraldes, which you can find him as that on Instagram. So there's just big expectations, a lot to try and live up to. But I mean, it's cool, and it would definitely be a growing experience. And this is huge. But it's $30 just for the file. However, if you subscribe to their Patreon, you get like 50% off. So I had originally had that intent, and maybe I will go with that. But as of right now, I'm okay with cutting Demogorgon from what I'm going to do. Werewolf seems like it could be pretty easy. Xanathar was another that I was really gonna like. I just don't know if I want to do another Beholder. I don't know. Again, if there's something that you guys want to see, I'm all ears. Or even, like, I think a fun part of this is to, like, to get, like, community involvement. So if there's anything that, like, you guys would want to go along with, like, paint along with, then maybe I could find something that, like, that we could all do. Or, like, we could all get, like, the same, like, Nulzer's Magnificent miniatures from our game shop or something like that. I dropped my holder. So I'm all ears on that front. I feel like Goo's gonna be pretty easy to do and easy to find a fun one. Undead, I'm also kind of okay with cutting that just because I'm doing so many zombies for this one. Again, like, this is definitely open to where if somebody just wants to challenge themselves, then you can. But I think just for me personally, I'm going to start cutting a few things out. Personally. I don't know. We can figure more out at a different time. I'm just kind of killing time at the moment. So, if somebody has any more, I know Cheese Toad, you were thinking on the cutting duplicates makes sense. Yes, thank you. Glad I'm not crazy. Cheese Toad, you were thinking on the zombie question. Did you ever end up coming to a consensus with yourself? I'm gonna start putting some stuff away.
How to avoid the dreaded caffeine crash.
I feel like I've been getting a lot fewer ads on this one. Oh, you're fine. No, you were totally fine. I'm excited to see it. Oh no, I'm slinging things around. There we go. So one of the zombies that always comes to mind for me are the ones from World War Z. I could see that definitely being the case. I have never actually watched that. Terrifying, fast, and massive herds. That is what I've seen from any clips that I've seen. Is just, yeah, like the things like running up the wall. Maybe I'll need to watch that. I need to look into doing, like, they have like watch parties on Twitch. They didn't like the running up the wall, or the fact that they were like fast and big herds. Also, is World War Z, that was a book originally, right? Or no? Yeah, massive hordes, fast zombies. Did you guys watch what was the movie with Dave Bautista in Las Vegas? You know what I'm talking about? It was it James Gunn that did that movie? It had Tig Notaro as like replacing Chris D'Elia after all of his stuff came out. Yeah, what was it called? I'll look it up. Army of the Dead, that's it. It was like I watched that movie right before I was like working remote right before going to a bachelor party, I think. And that was like, I was doing that while I was working that day. And I was like, man, this movie's crazy. and had so much fun watching it. You haven't seen the spin-off from that one yet. I don't think I have either. Is that on Netflix as well? Because I feel like they were released like right there next to each other. But a lot of people did not like that movie. They were like, oh, it's cheesy or goofy or whatever. Which is, I think, precisely why I loved it. Because it was so goofy and just insane. Hang on, we're missing... I gotta give the orcs some love here. Thieves. Was it like Honor Among Thieves? Or is that something else? It's basically just like the Ocean's movies meets zombies. I thought it was super fun. And okay, good. I can't wait to see those pictures. Actually, I'll pull them up so that we can take a gander. If you want to share them in the sharing and caring, that'd be great. Yeah, I just remember a lot of people. Whatever. This has a mind of its own. A lot of people being like, "Oh, that movie's dumb. It's just the same, whatever." I was like, yeah. If you walk into that movie thinking that it's going to be like a masterpiece, you're just setting yourself up for disappointment. And so whenever you go into it like expecting like this is going to be dumb, and I just can't wait for what was the scene? It was like, was he like jumping over a table, or like it might have been like a slow-mo like spinning shot of him shooting all the zombies while he was standing on a like a roulette table? I forget. It was something along those lines. And I was like, this was incredible. It was such a fun, absurd shot. And yeah, it was just a fun movie. Let me see if that is up yet. Sharing and caring. Dude, these look great. Are you kidding me? This is your first mini? That's crazy. Did you... Where'd you get this mini from? That looks so good. I'm kind of a little upset that you did that well on your first try. You're just trying to one-up the rest of us. Local game store, nice. Yeah, that looks really good. I love the color scheme on it, and it's just a really like pretty clean job too. Are you happy with it? Yeah, that looks great. Cheese Toad, I need to get you into a nation. I will get you a roll for it. That is a 2, which means that you are going to be added into... Let me make sure there's not too many people in there. You're going to be added into the nation of Citron. Which is the nation of citrus. I basically created this food world, like a food map, as a campaign setting for one of my D&D, just a D&D project that I've come up with. And so it's a food pyramid, but it's broken up into a bunch of different nations. Each one is broken up. You love citrus, you're okay with that. Good. We have one guy, one of my friends is in the nation of Lechu, which is the dairy nation, and he's lactose intolerant. So, real good placement for him. But hey, it's the dice decides the fate. So, sat on this hobby for a while, did a bunch of research before diving in. I can seriously tell based on some of the techniques that you used that you definitely did your research before actually starting. It looks so good. And then, is this the bugbear? Yeah. Dude, this is crazy. You're gonna have to just teach me how to do some stuff, I think. That looks so good. I'm gonna put my brushes up. What was I gonna say? I feel like I have been jumping from rant to rant. But yeah, I feel like Chiso, you should definitely jump in on one of the prompts from Monster Mash. Because I think you're definitely good at painting, that's for sure. So I think it would be fun to like do something together, or do some sort of just like have you participating as well. You're way ahead of me. I have an issue keeping colors matched. I need to start counting drops and not just throwing a color on there. Okay, first of all, I wouldn't say that I'm way ahead of you. I think I've been doing it longer, maybe, it sounds like. But I think to some people it comes more natural. I'm trying to think. I'll show you, actually I can show you the one that I'm most proud of. There's several minis that I cannot show. I'm trying to practice it before I do these nice minis. Yeah, I totally get that. We kind of talked about that earlier, of being intimidated to put paint on like a fresh mini just because you're afraid to contaminate it or whatever. Where did I put that? Man, there's several that I want to show off right now, but I can't because they're secret, because I'm going to use them in our upcoming campaign. And I know definitely my friends watch this. Or my players watch this. They don't actually. I feel like I'm spamming the Discord. Mind if I post a couple of this new one? No, you were absolutely not spamming. Again, like, I wouldn't say this if I didn't think it was true, but I think like the Discord is full of really good folks that are super supportive and also just like really interested in the stuff that, you know, that we words we're very interested in the things that each other make. So I think it's a great place to just hop in and show off your stuff. After the stream, I'll just kind of give a little intro of like who you are and how you found the Discord, because a lot of people are just brought to it by me directly. So yeah, I'll just kind of tell them like who you are and where you showed up from. Scared to even touch this with a brush. Yeah, totally fair. Dude, that's sick though. That sword is so long. Are you kidding me? I love that. Oh, that's great. But yeah, if you are interested, just let me know which one, because I don't think I'm going to stream myself painting every single one, but if you're interested in jumping in on Monster Mash, then let me know what you want to do, and I can run out and even just like we can just like get the same miniature. Can't even explain the quality of the print. It seems like it. It seems dope. It seems really good. Who's that from? Like, who makes that one? That looks so good. But yeah, like I said, I'll get you introduced to the rest of the folks after the stream. I was multitasking when you were going through that. Where do I look at these? Creepy Prince on Etsy. Nice. Get you a link. He has some really, really cool darker stuff too. Yes, please. That would be great. If you want to drop that also in the sharing and caring, that's another great spot for that. Sorry, look at what? Where do I look at what? What exactly are you asking for? I was trying to find my favorite mini that I've painted, but I can't find it. I don't know if it's just like buried away in this box. Oh, the Monster Mash. It is... It was that image that I shared earlier, but it's on my Instagram as well. I can go pin it in the Discord later too. Actually, I'll just drop it in there now. I'll just put it in that same channel. Everybody else is gonna be like, what are you guys doing? So yeah, if there's anything from that that sounds interesting to you, then yeah, I'd be totally down to make sure that, and I'll kind of share it with everybody too. Say like, hey, this is the one we're all gonna agree on to kind of have like a paint night together. I think that'd be super fun. Where is my bear? I don't think I put it anywhere. I don't know. Okay. Well, unless there's anything else, I think I might call the stream there tonight. Again, made really good progress on this. I don't know if I will finish this on stream just because there's just these two that need quite a bit of love, and then the rest of it will just kind of be like a wash situation. So I might just finish that one up within the next couple days and then just like post it. But I'm super happy with it. Really happy with just the direction it's going and the fact that it is almost done. Yeah, I'm super glad that you stumbled in here as well. We're definitely a growing community, but it's like I said, it's a group of really good people. I also just kind of love connecting with new people, especially over a shared hobby. And yeah, I have a YouTube as well. That's kind of the, I don't know if it's the main thing I do. I'm streaming like simultaneously between Twitch and YouTube right now. But yeah, I do videos over there. That's how Guild of Gluttony started. It was doing YouTube videos, and I got the Heroes Feast cookbook, excuse me, which is the official cookbook of Dungeons & Dragons. And so there's several of us in the Discord that connected because we make videos surrounding that book. Of course. Oh, excuse me. So that's how a lot of us shoot. I accidentally switched videos. That's how a lot of us there found each other. But yeah, glad that you're here. Glad you're part of the guild. And the nation of Citron is happy to have you, I'm sure. But with that, I think I'm going to call it. Get things cleaned up. Got a couple people that would love here. Yeah, invite them in. Seriously, like, the more the merrier, honestly. Like, especially if it just means that there's more people there that can just kind of nerd out about stuff, I'd love to have them along. This is just kind of a side gig for me. It's not even a gig, it's just kind of a side hobby for me. To just share my love of the hobby, and if I can share any tips and tricks with people, then great. I've learned from a lot of people on the internet, and if I can do a little bit of teaching, and maybe some entertaining along the way, then awesome. I'm happy to have more people along for the ride. So yeah, seriously, I appreciate that, and feel free to invite whoever you want into the guild. It's good people. But yeah, I think that's it for tonight. I will, let's see, what's tomorrow? Is Wednesday. Wednesday's normally D&D night, but we're skipping, so I might stream tomorrow. We're just doing a graphic novel who's just getting started into this type of interaction. That's awesome. We have a lot of illustrators. I'm a graphic designer, and I mainly do illustrations, so that's again just another like connecting point. And then I know there's 2 other gals that are like pretty deep into illustration within the server as well. So yeah, I seriously, like, if it's just a place, like a safe haven to talk about, you know, a lot of our hobbies are kind of nerdy and kind of like, you try and talk to somebody about it and you see their eyes just kind of glaze over and you see them just kind of check out. So kind of the heart of the Guild of Gluttony is that like nobody does that here. We just kind of come together and talk about stuff that we actually like and can kind of share in the excitement of like, oh, here's my graphic novel. And so many other people would be like, that's dope. And I know why that's dope because I do something similar. So yeah, I think the more people that we can pack into the guild that are excited about things, the better. I think the link that is in, or I don't, I think you can share or like send an invite to people on the Discord, even if you're not me. Even if you're not an admin, I think you can invite people. I'm not sure. If you can't invite people, let me know and I'll send you a link to send to each other or send to other people, because I think the link is valid for everyone. Again, I might stream tomorrow night. If it's painting, great. If not, potentially Breath of the Wild. If it's not Breath of the Wild, potentially World of Warcraft. If it's not World of Warcraft, then potentially Pokemon? I'm not sure.
What if you could get rid of your kitchen garbage
just
at the
immediately?
push of a button? Meet Lomi.
Come on.
New revolution.
Really cool. I'm happy I found you excited for the hobby season and a new friend to learn from. Likewise, man. Seriously, so glad that you came in. And again, just happy to have more good people along for the ride. So yeah, I will let you all know via the Discord if I do end up streaming tomorrow. If not, you all take care of yourselves, and yeah, we'll keep chatting in the Discord. Have a good night, and